Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Total Nonstop Podcast. And speaking of the future, you are looking at the future of podcasts, and that is Pinfall Productions. Let me go ahead and bring on Gene, the Moose Man, Emerson. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you doing tonight?
For those who don't know, who might not have never watched the show, we kind of do a recap of everything that's currently going on in wrestling today. That's anything from NXT to AEW, Raw, SmackDown, all that good stuff. Go ahead and tell them, Gene, what we're going to do today on the show.
Well, today we're actually going to run down the card of Full Gear for AEW. That's this Saturday, the pay-per-view. I was going to say promo. No, because we are going to be talking about Revolution as well, because that is a revolutionary force in the new promo field as well. My head's still turning with lots of different thoughts.
I'm telling you, it's had me mind boggled all day. Let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and kick this off. Let's see. What can we talk about first? First of all, why I know that I've got a good eyeball watching. We got a couple of viewers over here. Yeah. If you are a wrestling fan, if you've ever heard of Total Nonstop Collecting, it is actually a promo page. This podcast is a branch off of it. We are doing a belt raffle on there for a WWE SmackDown tag belts. The spots are $10 a spot. There'll be 30 spots available. I think I've got 24 left right now. And yes, I do have the title in hand. This is the beautiful SmackDown Tag Team Championship. It is not a boot. It is authentic from the WWE shop. Still pretty new. As you see, it still sparkles really good. I mean, it's an excellent condition. I don't even see no bends in the leather from people holding it, which is always usually where the bends are. If you take a look at the snaps back here, snaps still have the plastic on them, just the way it comes. They ain't even had the plastic took off the snaps yet. We are going to be raffling this belt off. It's not hard to join. All you got to do is go through Facebook, go over to Total Nonstop Collecting. Once I know that I've got the 30 spots filled, then you can PayPal me your $10. You're allowed to buy up as many spots as you want. If you wanted to buy all 30 of them, you could. And then this right here is going to be up for grabs. The money that comes off this is going towards something else that we're going to talk about a little bit later. It's for a real good thing. So let's go ahead and move it along. Gene, you want to talk about AEW first, you said, correct?
We are talking, yes, and we're breaking down, or at least, or not even recapping, just giving our predictions on this lovely card for Full Gear this Saturday. The only note, just wanted to throw it out, because it is going to be live on Fight TV. You can go get it for all those people that want to know where it is. They switched their free match, and it's now going to be, instead of Orange Cassidy and John Silver, number 4 of the Dark Order, that's going to be pulled onto the main card, or the main pay-per-view, and we're now going to get the NWA Women's title. The women's champion, Charlene, is going to be taking on Allison in a title match. And I thought that's really unique that we're seeing more. Hey, Mr. Stump. Thank you. Seeing more NWA guys in AEW recently. I know NWA has been doing a thing with a Unite. I think it's another group on pay-per-view. And I think I got a feel, anyways, that the NWA is going to be moving in with AEW.
Let's go over some comments real quick. We got a few guys over here watching with the eyeballs there. What's good, brother?
Welcome.
Mr. Stump, of course. Mr. Derek. He's just one of the guys that's in my promo group now. I think, what was his name again? His promo name? Nightmare. That's right. Nightmare. I was just having a good conversation with him a while ago. TNC. That is right. Join TNC.
That's right.
I don't know who this is. I'm pretty sure it's probably one of our regulars. It's just sometimes Facebook acts funny and they don't. You have to go re-register. Whoever that is, go make sure you register real quick so I want to see your name and who you are. All right, guys, let's move it along. AEW. The first thing that I got up on here would be Chris Champion called out MJF.
Mm-hmm.
Soft to kick off the broadcast just moments before joining Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone and Excalibur at commentary. We've stressed this pretty hard. I love what they're doing with MJF and Y2J together. Well,
Yep.
I'm sorry. He gets aggravated if you call him Y2J, but he's always going to be Y2J to me. But the
Yep.
Le Champion, Chris Jericho,
Champion.
a little champion. I love what they're doing with MJF and him, man. I think it's gold, man. It's absolutely 100% gold.
It's perfect. The little skit we had prior. Now that we're getting this match versus Chris Jericho versus MJF, if MJF wins, he becomes part of the inner circle. I think this is really fun. And you've seen it even, this goes all the way back to the beginning when Chris Jericho knocked MJF and said, oh, well, I think it was great that your parents got in the mood after watching Chris Jericho and Juventud Guerrero have their match. And then I love MJF's reply, who's Juventud? I'll go Google it.
That was Mr. Blue Lee Cook over here.
Awesome.
It seems he fixed it. Let's see what else we got going on over here. By the way, I'll put my promo video. Okay, sweet, dude. Sweet. I'll check it out after the show. He's one of those guys that's still in the stepping stages of learning what the hell an edit is and how to. I try to explain to him while I go. I said, man, we all was there. Because I remember when I started, I had no clue how to do shit. And unlike some nice guys these days who say they'll help you out, no one freaking helped me. Patrick threw me a couple of bones and was like, here, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll be fairly up and honest. When I first stepped into the whole promo world, I was thrown a few minuscule bones from Mr. TDC and Chris Champion at the beginning. So I've been there.
It's like, here's an app. Here's a couple of things how to make a picture. Good luck, kid. Have fun.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We've all been there.
This is one of the viewers that has been on. I'm sorry, I can't hardly click you. They're blowing my messenger up over here, and I can't block it or stop it for some reason. This is one of the viewers. I believe this is one of William's friends. I believe.
Yes.
Yes. They've been great with the comments, guys, here lately, man. We love that y'all tune in and keep our show.
Just before we go any further, I want to say thank you to all the people that come out from Will's group, from that Discord that come watch us, and we love the comments. We love you watching every time we come on. We appreciate it. If you guys still stick with us, there's going to be a lot of banger stuff in the future, and even coming on the 15th. So we're going to be talking about all of that here tonight a little bit. So.
Let's see. We had MJF and Wardlow who defeated Ortiz and I can't speak, Gene. What is his name?
Ortiz and oh geez, I haven't watched AEW in a little bit.
How the hell you say his damn name? Goover. I can't talk today, guys. I'm so tired. I'm not running on nothing. Anyway. Basically, to make a long story short, we knew that if I hadn't watched this match and it was presented to me, I would probably say that MJF and Wardlow was going to beat them. That's what ended up happening, of course. And MJF is on a big story kick with Y2J. He's not going to probably be losing any matches anytime soon. If he does, there's going to be some tomfoolery that caused it or something, I'm sure.
And a lot of it was to play into where Chris Jericho was on commentary. I think at one point MJF jumped Jericho on commentary. It was all to bring feud into their match going into Full Gear.
Could I still call him Rusev?
Miro, you mean? I'm still trying to get over onto this best man Miro thing. I see him as still Rusev to me. I get it. Everybody's chanting Miro Day, but that doesn't sound like a good T-shirt to me.
I don't know whose idea it was exactly for some of the names in AEW. They do got some ones I do question. That I feel like more creativity could have went into it. Miro was horrible, man. To me, I don't like that name at all on him. To me,
his actual real name is what
I think it is, but they should have went with something else because even if it is his real name, to me, it just don't fit him. Maybe it's just because I've always known him as Rusev. That could be why. But to me, it don't fit him. I'm going to be real here. I know AEW fans are going to like when I say this, but for a show that's got a guys on there who are bitching that they left the other place because they wasn't nothing but mid-card guys, they're playing mid-card guys just on a different show because that's all he's doing right now.
He's in that mid-card state, I think, and like I was saying to Josh before this all started kicking off tonight, with all this looking like NWA guys coming in. If you create a third show, you put some of your guys who are in sitting in that mid card. You put them into like an AEW produced AEW show with the NWA guys. You can build stars. You could really take a Miro, put him in as a TV champion or even NWA champion for a while, and then it's like, oh, he can carry this. We'll take him from there, bring him to the main show. Boom, it's going to work. So.
Well, I mean, it depends, Tom, what you consider a hell of bank, because he's not making that much money over there, man. Yeah. He actually probably made more money in WWE, to be honest with you.
He was, yeah.
I don't know what the contract looks like, but I guarantee you, without me ever looking at it, I guarantee you he made more off merchandise and stuff like that in WWE because of the merchandise and the merch and stuff like that than he probably is over here. So
the only reason why he's at AEW so he can continue to keep doing his Twitch.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because he ain't doing nothing else right now. I mean, like I said, it might work into something else.
But for the card of Full Gear, Orange Cassidy, John Silver, I think that's going to be a banner of a match. But we can talk about this whole, and I know on the show last night, Cody addressed a little bit of the Darby Allin Cody thing, where Cody sort of referenced to Darby Allin that the suits don't want him as TNT champion, and he's trying to pull it off as no, that's not true.
We've never seen that kind of top storyline before.
No.
Whoa, what a way to originality and not copycat nothing. To bring us back to that match, though, Miro did defeat Trent in that match. Mm-hmm. I did not see this match, I'll be honest, but according to the grade, it's got a C. So it couldn't have been too damn good.
I think about what I would expect
Miro that match to be.
I think it was funny too, because I think Miro said like something like you break it, you buy it type thing in the match. Like it was a weird feel to the entire Trent Miro match. It wasn't I can see why you would get a C for sure.
We'll be right back.
Yep.
That is the Paradigm Shift. Make sure you catch it this Wednesday as we have the Prince Nene from ROH on the show live and in person. It's going to be awesome, man. It's a big step for pinfall. I'm very excited, man. I can't wait to have a sit down with that guy.
Oh, it's going to be great. And if you go back into our archives, we've had on like Angel Medina, the Kingpin, and we've had some great interviews with him. So definitely, for sure, if you guys tune in, you will hear one of probably a great interview again. We always try to bang it out and be professional as best we possibly can. So
that's right.
Phenomenal.
Where'd it go? Did it delete it? Oh no! I think he deleted it. He didn't delete it. I'm probably just in the wrong damn file because there ain't but 50 of them on here. But yeah, Prince Nene. I'm excited, man, to sit down with the guy. I got a few questions for him myself. So, if you want to ask the guy a question, come on, pop it over here in the comments. We'll bring it up. We'll get it asked for you. Especially if you're an ROH fan, you know who this guy is. So,
we will try, like we say, we'll try to do our best to get everybody's fan questions if possible, if there's time proceeding. So you know what I mean. It's just how we do it. We're gonna roll with what we've got.
Next up, you have the Young Bucks versus Private Party, or some people like to call them the Street Profits 2.0. The Young Bucks defeat the Private Party in this. That's no big
no shocker.
no shocker.
Big deal. I think they're gearing it up. They're trying to play on. I do believe Matt is the one that's having the ankle, like trying to play off an ankle injury, saying that he's good, he can still go, and it's all leading up to their match against FTR, with the stipulation that if the Young Bucks don't win and that they'll never go for the tag team titles again. I'm not too happy with that.
I don't like stipulation matches like that. I don't like matches like that, or matches that you're going to be fired and you're never going to work in the company again. I don't like shit like that, because it really dances on the line of reality and fake, because you know damn good and well the Young Bucks are not going to split. They're not going to be just singles comparators. It would be a stupid move to make them singles comparators. They're such good as a tag team. You know that it would be a month or so they would find some kind of way to infiltrate this story back into where they end up getting their tag team shots back, or as WWE does it, hell, they just bring them back and don't give you no damn explanation for it. So it's a dumb thing. I don't like it, but it's leading to something. I feel that they've got more up their sleeve than just the common stipulation thing here. I think there's something else here. I think somehow Kenny gets involved, or Hangman gets involved, or something along that line happens.
I feel in a certain way that maybe a Mr. Marty Scurll might show back up into the AEW, if you know what I mean, because right now they're not doing
still
anything.
In legal trouble.
I think a lot of that is cleared by now, and I think that's and he hasn't really been doing anything with Ring of Honor. I don't know if he, because I don't think he had anything to do with the booking of the Ring of Honor Pure Championship that was going on this month. So.
Okay. I don't know what that was aimed at. That might have been earlier in the conversation. I just now seen it. I don't know where I said 50 something or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll move it along. Let's go ahead and get on to the face-to-face of Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. I ain't gonna lie, man. When they first started this whole, I'm one of those guys, I didn't know who Eddie Kingston was until AEW. I might have seen him here and there, but it just don't register. I've watched so much wrestling and so many matches and had to keep up with so much stuff over the years, guys. There's common wrestling terms that I should know sometimes. I'm like, that's a thing. And they're like, you ain't never heard? I'm like, hell, probably. I just don't remember it, man. It's just probably squeezed out of my ear somewhere. So he's made me a fan. The way he does things, I kind of like Eddie Kingston, man. We know he's not going to beat Mox. If he beats Mox, that is a surprise of surprises the AEW would lay on you. This is basically, I guess, for you WWE fans, I guess we could use Roman and Jay as an example here, where Eddie's going to go in there and put up a good fight, but he's not going to beat John. Moxley could probably end up holding on to the belt, unless there's some tomfoolery. Okay, now you can't ever throw that out the window. There's a possibility that might happen. So
I like this so much. I like the promo that they cut. Eddie giving that like, you know, I didn't have a granddaughter for my grandmother. I didn't give her, a granddaughter and stuff.
Okay, I got you now. I bitch about the files all the time, man. If you could see this stream, you know how much crap we got crammed over here together, and now I've just started a promo group, and I'm cramming more stuff over here. So and nothing's labeled. You have to just know what the picture looks like from the frozen video piece, or you'll click the wrong shit. Ask Josh; he does it all the time. He makes an ass of himself on the regular on the podcast because he clicks the wrong.
But that whole promo was so heartfelt that he made the AEW title sound better than what. Right now, technically, what it is. If you look in the idea of the industry, he made that title mean something, and I think that's what John really needed.
Do you feel that maybe that title's lost some momentum?
Yeah, I have.
I kind of feel that way also. And I don't think it's really just Mox itself. I think it's just they kind of. I'll be honest with you. This is the only problem that I've ever seen with maybe Cody being in the ring. I think Cody and Kenny and those guys like that have really kind of took the focus off the world championship some. And it's kind of like more on them because you got Kenny who's going through this heel transitional phase, becoming the cleaner. And now you got Cody who's we'll talk about him here in a minute about the news that he got earlier. So,
yeah,
that thing going on. So I kind of feel like maybe they're not still in the spotlight on purpose, but I feel like the fans are watching them more than they're watching Mox because they're waiting to see what they're going to do. Because I think it's getting due about time for it to come around where either Kenny goes up the world championship or Cody goes up the world champ or both of them. A three-way with them and Mox would be kick-ass. So
the way I see this playing out, and it has been since that AEW world title, since it's left Jericho, because Jericho has made himself the focus, and Jericho don't need the title to be the focus.
No, he don't.
You know what I mean?
It was a great guy to put it on to begin with.
Yeah.
People bitched about it, but you needed that.
You needed that guy.
That name. It was just the name, too. Because people boosted that Kenny should have held it. Kenny is not big with the WWE fans. Some WWE fans don't know who the hell Kenny Omega is. Yeah. So
he's not big here in the East. He's bigger in the West. He's bigger over in the East. He's not big here in the West. So it was the good move to put Jericho as your mainstay because he's known everywhere.
Then you had Cody, who was basically trying to play a suit and tie when he first walked through the door. Yeah. And I think Cody kind of saved himself so he could have that match with his brother type of way. So Jericho was definitely the perfect fit to start with.
That's right.
Because he was because he's big in Japan also. He's big in Japan. He's big in Canada. He's big here. He's big over in Europe. So everybody knows who the hell Chris Jericho is. Perfect name to stick it on. I like where they're going though with this. I think they're. Like I said, I think AEW is about to fool us in some kind of way. I think they got something up their sleeve that they're about to pull, and we just don't see it coming.
No,
especially with WWE pulling some because they're starting to mix things up a little bit more over there than they used to. So,
I think the way I see this is, I think Jon Moxley gets the win. Jon Moxley gets the win, gets the victory, but it ends off because, as we already know, it's going to be Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega, and I think that's when Omega's going to win over Hangman, and Omega makes his mark on Moxley. I think that's how you're going to see that ending off, sort of to give him the receipt that he gave him at the end of All In.
True. We will be right back. That's the Geek Gauntlet. Y'all are back on your regular time schedule, correct?
Regular time. We're going to be there Saturday at 9 Central Time, 10 o'clock Atlantic time, my time. And we're going to be running down the Geek Gauntlet, everything geekdom. So you tune in Saturday evening.
There you go. Do we want to talk about the women's division?
I'm going to say this. We're going to see women's AEW title match with Nyla Rose and the current AEW Women's Champion. Are we going to get anything different than we've seen already from them before? You might see Nyla with a little bit more intensity, but that's about it.
When people talk about AEW's women's division, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
Until they do something with it, I have no interest in it.
I would honestly. For argument's sake with the women's division, I would like that. I'm liking it now that the NWA is coming in there because there's a strong women's division in there. That is probably what it needs to make that AEW's women's division better.
Yeah. You had Cody in the Gun Club versus the Dark Order. I just can't believe it. Mr. Ass is still wrestling to these days. It just cracks me up, man, that he's still doing it. This was not a good match.
No,
it was very boring. It was drug out. I think that the only thing that come good, I guess you could say it's good from this match is the ending of it Of course, Cody announcing that now he's got his dad's name. He can use it if he wants to. I mean, pretty much WWE dropped it. I guess they got tired of fighting his ass about the damn shit, so they just finally said, "Hell, take it," because we're not using it anyway, really. So here, go ahead and take it. So
there you go. Yeah.
There's a lot of controversy over this between fans about whether or not he should really be able to get it, whether or not he shouldn't be able to get it. You know.
It's his name at the end of the day. He's going to keep his dad's legacy. I think it works better. I think it sounds better just for the moniker. You know, where you had Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, Cody Rhodes, the American. It works. It sounds better. It fits better. Just give the guy the name. He ain't stealing any more intellectual property. You know, I mean, WWE's got a lot of that. Solid.
I guess I don't have much of a problem with the name, but I mean, it's not like it's his real last name. So
no.
It's a character name. It's his dad was huge in WWE. Why wouldn't WWE honor Dusty? I mean, hell, Dusty's one of the biggest icons in wrestling. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I think every brand would honor Dusty if he had hell, if he come in there and probably took his shit in one of their toilets, they probably honored him. I mean, he was that big of a deal.
He was in ECW. He was in WWE. He was in WCW. He's been all through every wrestling company that there was a wrestling company had Dusty Rhodes in it.
Yeah. As far as the name goes, I guess I don't have that much of a problem with him giving his name, but Cody got greedy to me really fast, really, really quick, because not only did he want the name, he wanted every freaking idea his daddy's ever had. If his daddy helped with a pay-per-view, if his daddy come up with some type of match, Cody believed somehow, and that dyed head of his, that he had trademark copyrights to everything that his daddy has ever done, and it just don't work that way, man.
No.
You can't expect a company just to stop talking about one of the greatest wrestlers ever because he was your daddy and you went off and started your own wrestling brand. You're the competition. At the end of the day, you're still the competition. You're the guy that sat around for 2 years talking about what a joke WWE is and how they screw their talent over and how Vince McMahon is one of the biggest pieces of trash to ever walk the face of this earth. And do you think that he was going to do you a fucking favor and just hand it to you? Yeah. No, dude, come on, man. Fans cannot be this dense, okay? Now, I know wrestling fans, we talk about it all the time, are the biggest, most poisonous garbage fans of anything, including football, basketball, whatever. But there is no way anyone with common logic sense can sit there and look at that from a business standpoint after they just bashed you for 2 years and think that you're just going to say, here you go, here's you some more stuff to use against us, to bash us with and try to take us out. That shit makes no sense whatsoever. If I would have Vince McMahon, I would have called him up. Now, I can't do it as good as Richard, but I would have called him up and been like, screw you, pal, and hung up on his ass because you're not getting a damn thing from me if you're trying to take me out. At the end of the day, it's a competition, man. So I wouldn't have even gave him the name. I mean, Vince, WWE did more than I probably would have did, but they probably just got sick of fighting him because Cody was not going to give that up. I think he was going to keep going, and he kind of did what he accomplished. He kind of backed him in the corner to the point they're just like, the hell with this, man. Just give it to him.
Yep. Let's just give it to him. He'll drop it, you know. But the intellectual property was already in the WWE. When Dusty came over, he brought everything that he brought with him. WCW was pretty much bought by Vince. So all that property was already there. Now that you got Dusty there, that was there before he passed, it's now all Vince's.
Well, it's not even just that. It's that I seen a fan. This is what brings me to my next point about the whole Dusty, the Cody Rhodes argument. A fan who does not know his history, had to be a newer fan, could be a dense fan, I don't know. But he said, and I quote, "How dare WWE try to be assholes like this towards this man? Hell, they already use his dad in NXT for every little thing they can do." Dusty invented NXT. That is his idea. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the parts that I think Cody and the Marks don't get. The guy, NXT was built by Dusty, his daddy. You went and created the competition to destroy one of his daddy's things.
That's right.
That makes no sense whatsoever. Like none. Like, even if you had an issue with WWE, why would you purposely try to go after NXT? We know why, because you know your numbers can't compete with Raw and SmackDown every week, Cody. We know exactly why you went after NXT, and you also thought that NXT was going to stay on the network. Also, we know that's also why they went after NXT.
Yep.
It's no secret. It was a business move, just like Vince made his business moves. Okay, so
That's right.
let's stop acting like Cody's the poor little innocent child here, who the big bad boss man Vince is screwing over when it's nothing like that. Vince is playing the business game, and Cody is playing the business game. That's what's going on.
That's right.
And they're watching y'all argue over it and laughing at y'all's ass, probably thinking, hell, for all we know, they're talking to each other every 3 days on the phone, laughing about it together. That does happen. It happened with ECW and WWE. You don't believe me? Go check your history. He was sending Paul Heyman money out the ass to compete with him.
Yeah.
Just so he had competition. Don't think that shit don't go on, because it does.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and jump to some NXT stuff real quick.
Yep.
All right, let's jump over to NXT real quick.
There was a really good debut match between Ember Moon and Dakota Kai.
William gonna be mad. We talking about his baby without him here.
Yeah. Dakota and Ember Moon. There was some shenanigans that played into that, and Ember Moon took a W, but it was a strong match, strong showing by Ember Moon.
Man, Dakota Kai, I'll be honest with you, she's another one of those. When I first started watching, I was not a fan. To me, she had like this Bayley ripoff type. She already looks like Bayley a little bit, like, to me, just a little bit anyway. So, you see this shit? You see this shit? Oh no, you can't see it because you're.
I can't see it. No.
This shit. Then he comes on here with the name underneath it, because like he's got to come on here running to defend his boy. You know,
I didn't even know that's who y'all were talking about.
About a few minutes ago, we were running down Jody.
I roasted the shit out of him for like 2 or 3 minutes, so you'll have to catch it later. You had we're talking about Dakota Kai and Ember Moon right now. Like I said, Dakota Kai really came into her own ever since they flipped her heel. Dude, I've been a fan. When she kicked that girl in the face at War Games, I was like, that's awesome, man, because I don't know, it made, not only made her more attractive, okay, and I don't usually say that about women wrestlers because I try to keep it real professional, because I hated the way the 90s were about women wrestling anyway, but it made her more attractive. It made her more of a badass. She dresses more as a badass. You know, it's kind of like she did the heel part right, where Bayley is doing it like cheap bubblegum ripoff heel, you know, in my opinion. Bayley tries to be a heel but can't pull it off.
No.
Dakota Kai can pull off being a heel. She kind of comes off as like a bitch a little bit. So
Dakota Kai pulls off the bubbly, good girl baby face. Great. But the one thing she also does is she's shown is pulls off that heel. Bayley has proven she can't. Yeah. She is just the bubbly baby face.
I will say I can't talk too much about Bayley because WWE actually did exactly what my idea that I had thought if they were going to flip her heel. Like when the night before when we thought maybe she had flipped heel, I was like, the first thing to do is cut her hair and her come out and just like shred those stupid wavy flammable man over there. And I'll be damned, that's what they did. And it did not work. She come out and started talking. I was like, you can't be a heel, girl. You're too sweet looking. There's no way you can be a heel. It don't work that with you.
Well, and then they're trying to pull the role model thing with Bayley. And I'm sorry, there's only one girl who's pulling that off right now, and that's Britt Baker. And the only reason Britt Baker is pulling that off as well as she is because she has the true role model in teaching her, and that's Jericho.
Britt had to do some work to get me a little bit of a following to where I could like her. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I first seen that stupid shit, the first thing that went through my mind, you know what it was? Who else has had that gig?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and I was like, out of all names, they're like, well, she's a real dentist in real life. So I'm pretty sure one of those guys used to be a janitor too. They don't sit there out here and dressed in a janitor shit. I'm just saying, like they could have went somewhere else, but they made her. She plays a real asshole really good. So
well, and then she talked about it on the podcast that she was on. It is oxymoronic to say Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, but she does it because of the heel quality of it. Like it's just that little bit of an extra rib. It's like, yes, I'm a doctor.
And she's got the perfect two teachers. Let's just face this. She's got the perfect two teachers and heels. Not only does she have Chris Jericho, but she's dating Adam Cole. And who gets over more than Adam Cole, baby? Even as a heel, he walks out NXT, and what is the first thing? As soon as after he goes boom, and what does everybody wait to say? Adam Cole. He doesn't even need this. He just says his name, and everybody else says, baby, and you hear it. So,
you also had Kushida defeating Grimes in this.
The worst thing ever in this whole entire match was when they brought out the referee who was already played a zombie on Halloween Havoc, and then he gets scared. Oh my God.
Grimes is going to be one of them people that's always going to be in some kind of ridiculous shit like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're unfortunately
They're
unfortunately for Grimes is they see him as a comedy act when he showed an impact in a couple of other places that he could be serious talent, and they're wasting him.
And they're wasting him. Like he can pull that cave in at any point.
Yeah.
I say the coup de grace that Grimes has is a little bit better than Finn Balor, because he can pull it off at almost anywhere where Finn has to use it in the corner. But Cameron Grimes, they're booking him wrong.
You also had Shotzi Blackheart versus Tony Storm. Storm ends up defeating Blackheart by pinfall, which was a crock of shit. I knew that's how that was going to go in. They rated it an 8.
Candace runs over the toy tank.
I'm not a fan of this Shotzi that WWE is giving us. They're trying to stick to her bad girl indie, but it's not gonna work in PG WWE, and they're trying to toe that line, and I'm not liking it.
The thing what they need to do with Shotzi right now, Shotzi is starting to become less of the heel. She's becoming the face. Let her go that way, and take her away from these toy tank gimmicks, please.
You also had one of the things of the night that kind of made my night. You had Tommaso Ciampa, who went after the cast on Velveteen Dream's arm and started breaking it. He continued to target the arm with his attacks. Dream was barely able to defend himself from the onslaught slaughter of Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal match. Phenomenal match.
Brutal.
Some might say that that's punishment. Some might say that that's just Tommaso. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know last time I seen Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream at TakeOver, it was freaking awesome, dude.
Oh yeah,
give me Tommaso Ciampa versus Dream. I would love it.
Paper.
Yes, dude, that was the War Games, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Dude, that shit was awesome, man. That was like probably one of the best matches they had that year.
You can talk shit on all of Velveteen's stuff outside of wrestling, but when it comes to just wrestling, the man is talented and he is money. He worked his ass off in developmental, been in WWE developmental for years, could not find the right gimmick, got poured on with shitty gimmick after shitty gimmick after shitty gimmick. Finally, they gave this motherfucker some creative control, and he has fucking ran with it. I'm sorry.
And who would have thought? I mean, he's one of those guys that's good enough that he made the Velveteen Dream character work.
Yeah,
I mean, think
androgyny. He's playing with androgyny constantly, and in something that can tend to make some people very uncomfortable. He is getting extremely over with it.
There's only one other person that's ever done that gimmick as good as the Dream. Or two, sorry. There's only two that's ever done it as good as the Dream. One being Dustin Rhodes, Mr. Goldust, and two, Mr. Rick Rude. He's the only guy. Those are the only two guys that could ever pull off that. And Velveteen Dream's in that company. So,
and even Goldust has got weird in some points and got a little bit too strange. Like when he was having the convulsions constantly.
Don't remind me about the Attitude Era and Ball Gag.
BP. That shit.
That was funny though. That was funny in the aggressive era, the ruthless aggression era when they threw him into the electrical, and he goes out with the taunt to Triple H before.
Dude was comic gold a lot.
Oh
man.
Yeah, when he started trying to hit Triple H, and literally you can tell Ric Flair and Triple H are not this is not like fake. They are broken up laughing. Like forgetting lines and shit, and they just couldn't help themselves because he's like,
Not that we're here to talk about Goldust, because we could do a whole episode on Dustin Rhodes, but the man is extremely talented. Took a character that a lot of people would have failed at and turned it into gold, and now he is showing how amazing of a wrestler and teacher he can be too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, very true. Let's see. Let's take a quick commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
Of the lessons that we learned, we can be the fire, feeding our desire, taking all the chances that never get burned. We can go our own way, we can be the new day, coming up strong. Whoa, gonna rise up, no stopping us now. We're taking on the world. Whoa, gonna rise up, no stopping us now. We're taking on the world.
The only difference about this revolution is this revolution will be televised.
And there you have the revolution. If you're looking to be a promo artist, make your promo dreams come true. It's about the closest thing that you can get if you've ever thought of being in the wrestling business without actually physically getting inside the ring or being a manager or anything like that. We got a show coming up the 15th. The card's already stacked. We got 6 matches already on the card, more possibly coming. Right now, we are in the process of having our championship belt made for the page. So once we get it made, you will be able to physically hold a championship. It will be mailed to you if you win it. You hold it, you defend it just like a real champion. You lose it, you mail it on to the next person that you dropped it to. The Revolution is doing something different in the promo world that a lot of people are, that no one, I say a lot of people, but no one is doing. We're actually going to run our shows live stream through StreamYard, affiliation with Pinfall Productions. In order to see our pay-per-views, you have to click on with Pinfall. Regular shows that are bi-weekly, you can check them out on the Revolution page. But
pay-per-views will be Pinfall exclusive YouTube.
Yeah, only. That's the only way you'll be able to see it is through Pinfall. So
let's just go ahead and just talk a little bit. We've got that Revolution pay-per-view coming up on the 15th. It's a jacked stack card already. You know, TBA to be announced because there could be changes. Some card subject to change. You know, as all wrestling shows will say. But this is a unique thing for promoing. Just saying, because me and Tommy have been in the promo game, to see it actually be live streamed, something that's never been done. This has never been done.
We got commentators. We got a ring announcer. I mean,
Mr. RYK, the greatest ring announcer there is, man.
That is right.
Dude is hilarious. If you don't know who he is, go check out the Paradigm Shift last night. You'll get a good chuckle out of him.
Go check out the Revolution. Honestly, he's been hyping up the breakdown.
Yeah, he's all over the Revolution page. It's going to be awesome, man. I honestly can't wait for the 15th. And it's itching me to death for it to hurt and get here too, dude. I'm ready for it to happen.
Yeah,
this is just the start, guys.
I'm the same here. I can't wait to see it. But just as you think, this is something that is going to take promoing to that next step. It's always been, we've heard all these E-Feds. We hear about them all the way around. all around the Facebook world, and nobody really knows too much. Like, oh, there's an EFED, there's an EFED, here's an EFED, and
we here at Pinfall are going to change that. We
That's
are
right.
going to take the promo wrestling world to the masses and outside of Facebook. That's why our pay-per-views will only be on Pinfall YouTube. You have to go subscribe to our YouTube to catch the pay-per-views. Here
This is
very
something-
shortly, very soon, Pinfall will be jumping into internet radio. Revolution will have a weekly show on that station. We are going to take promo wrestling to the next level.
This is something that you don't hear about, or has been heard about or talked about, but nobody really wanted to put the ball in motion. Here we're doing something that is really the next, is generally the next step for promoing. It's everywhere
Until we can
Facebook.
get a real TV show.
But this is the thing. The way I've been mentioning it to a lot of people, and I'm going to say this here. Your Facebook, your YouTube is TV nowadays. How many people got a smartphone? How many people are connected? If you got a product right now, this is the perfect place to market it, is the YouTube, because everybody's going to find it unique. And it's going to be something that me and Tommy have talked about, that's going to take a little bit of the hiccups out of these shows when you're following them on Facebook. Which match is this? Whose match is that? When did this come up? How long is this taking? It's going to take that all out. Now you've got live commentary. Now you've got a live ring announcer. This is bringing a whole new world into promoing, something that most of us promoters have only dreamed or talked about.
And there's one thing I got to say that I have noticed. We're not the only promo group that's doing this part of it. I've noticed a couple of other promo groups have kind of put their egos to the side. A lot of us promo groups are sick and tired of the drama and the bullshit that goes on in them. We've all decided to kind of unite together and work together and stop working against each other. It's a fantasy role play world. So instead of us being the competition, we're friends.
Let's come together and make promo wrestling as big as it could be.
Yeah.
Right.
It can be another form of wrestling. It can be. Let's make it happen. There are stars, the Crippler, the Icon, TDC, Chris Champion. There are people out there that need to be seen by other people more than just on Facebook.
Exactly. Let's
But move us on, TDC.
Move us on. Hey, we can't forget, in case some people's been following and didn't catch it last night, our very own Mr. Brandon Randall won his election. We got to mention that. That's why he's not been around on Pinfall. That's why I've been here kind of replacing him, doing a lot of things for him.
He makes his return on the Paradigm Shift next week.
Oh, well, what? Perfect timing for Prince Nene.
Yeah.
He's like,
He
of course
wants to
I'll
be there for that.
Prince Nene, I'm there. He's like, y'all ain't getting to do this shit without me.
ROH Original Prince Nene next
only
week.
fair.
Check us out.
It's only fair because the last time we had Angel on for our second time,
It was Brandon's first show, and he couldn't make it.
Couldn't make it.
His internet crapped out.
Make up to that, so hey, I feel what he feels.
Let's see.
Have we discussed Full Gear? Have y'all already discussed
Really,
Full Gear?
we touched
Not
upon
really.
it. I'm just gonna run down the card. You've got the NWA Women's Title that's going to be on first. Sierra and Allison. Then you're going to get Orange versus John Silver, number 4. Your Dark Order. The only match we really didn't touch on, and that is the Ultimate Deletion, Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. This is going to be another one of those whirlwind. I know everybody's throwing it out there, but there's always going to be a cinematic match now in this lovely world that we have of COVID. Chris Jericho, MJF, if he wins, gets part of the Inner Circle.
I am so excited for this match. I am so pumped for that match.
Yeah.
I wish I'm more excited because I know it's going to lead to a second match when they're actually feuding against each other.
Yeah.
But this first match is going to be good.
You're going to have Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin, TNT Championship. Me and Josh were talking here. Could we see Sting show up? That's the rumor. I think more likely, probably down the road, not Sting in this one, because you're also going to have the women's title, Nyla, and the current AEW title. It's going to be the same match, maybe a little bit more intensity. Kenny and Handman, that's going to be a bomb match. That's really going to be awesome. I think where you're going to see the call-in coming in is FTR versus the Young Bucks AEW tag team titles. I think we're going to see Marty Scurll. Marty Scurll is going to show up.
So there's been a couple of rumors on this show. One is Sting. Me and Jade talked about this before the show. I think you're right now, until Survivor Series is over and he doesn't make an appearance, nothing's going to happen with Sting. I still think they use this 30th anniversary Undertaker Survivor Series to set up their final match at WrestleMania. Give us the match we've all been wanting for years. You've shown us that you can do it with cinematics, so make it happen. Plus, as me and Gene were discussing, the only way you could fit Sting into this storyline right now with AEW is to make him a coach for Darby. But it would literally just be throwing him into one match. That's all it would work for, and then nothing. You'd be better off if you want to bring Sting in, build a story around it, figure out a way to make him work with Cody and Darby for maybe Cody Darby 3. But I think you're more likely truly to see Marty Scurll make his AEW debut.
I'd rather see him than Sting, I'll be honest
Me
with you.
too, me too. I think Marty took his licks with the Speak Out movement. Like none of the claims against him got substantiated. ROH isn't going to bring him back. They're going in a different direction. He released new merch this week with Pro Wrestling Tees, so he's obviously planning something. I see him debuting. Also, I don't know if anybody's a fan, but Alex Zane from GCW announced today that he's doing his last indie show, so he's signed with somebody.
Sweet.
And
he's badass. I'm excited for that. He's a killing it on the indies and in Japan.
And then the big match is the I Quit AEW championship match. Jon Moxley versus Eddie King. I don't see Eddie winning, but if there is going to be a win, it's got to be by some nefarious mode.
I don't see. There's no way Eddie wins this match, but I tell you, the bad blood that they have built between these two to make this is going to be an epically bloody, destructive, just downright dirty match. And I think Eddie is going to lose, but the way he loses is going to be talked out.
I think the way they need to end it is they need to let Eddie lose, but they need to carry Dean out.
Yes. Like Eddie needs to say I quit, and then Dean basically just passes out.
It just rolls off of him and can't even hardly carry himself.
Like Taker a few years ago.
But I also see this too. This match is bringing the prestige back to that AEW championship that we've lost focus on. This was the match that was needed to do that. And if anything, if they're about to roll out Jon Moxley, I say if I'm Cody, he's the cleaner. That's when the cleaner makes his big debut. He's going to give him the receipt that was given to him.
That's a good point, too.
All in. That's how you do that. As
Omega pops up just as Eddie says I quit and gives him the payback that he gave to Omega a year ago. That would be a great way to set up that feud. After Omega's beaten Paige. He's the number one contender.
Oh, it just seems like just yesterday with the people were talking, y'all just marks. He's staying. It's all a lie. He's staying in WWE. He ain't going nowhere. He would never leave. Blah 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 blah. Then he showed up, and it's like, is it still a work? Yeah, it's got to be. I loved it, man. I marked out when he showed up last year.
Oh, I did too. And everybody keeps talking that it's the same deed you saw. No, it's not. It is a different, Mox is a different character than Ambrose, totally. Yes, there are some similarities. Yes, there are some comparisons.
If you want to see Mox look more towards, which a lot of people wasn't a fan of right before he left WWE, the whole setting his jacket on fire and all that kind of stuff with Seth, that's more Mox than Dean Ambrose.
Yep.
You really want to see some Mox? Go look at his feud with Archer in New Japan right after he left WWE.
That's right. That's what I was just about to say.
I tell you, the match that I want to see is the match that we have gotten teased like 3 times, and because of COVID and Mox getting hurt and everything, I want to see Josh Barnett versus Moxley. Like it's been teased like 3 or 4 times. I want to finally see that match. It is going to be epic.
I say, and this is what I say leading into this whole Full Gear, everything that's going around it. It's great to finally hear that the AEW title is the main focus, not hearing it as the side note to, the TNT Championship or to the tag team titles. Like your main focus match, this is your big card draw match. It's that I Quit Eddie King. And Eddie King's put a lot of, not John Moxley's put the focus, Eddie King's put the focus, making that title mean everything. That promo that he cut in ring where they're both nose to nose, and he's telling him, like, I didn't give my grandma a daughter-in-law or a granddaughter.
Dude.
It's because of that title. This title, it means everything. And at the end, when I win this title, it will mean everything. You can't get no heartfelt than that when you got 2 guys nose to nose, and that's what the title's about.
The thing that has made this feud work so well is that we all know Eddie and John have been friends their entire career. They came up together. Like, none of that is fake. They truly have been friends a long time. I bet John did make that promise to Eddie's mom. I would put money on it. But that promo yesterday with the 2 of them in the ring, there was so much real, so much grit. Like it just
that right there is from eating noodles together, training together, starving together,
and watching one succeed while the other one sits back.
Yep, like literally,
like, they may still really
split a $1 cheeseburger together to make sure they had to get by that day because that's all they had was a couple of bucks to eat on. People don't realize how hard it is to cut into that business, man.
It's
you really have to.
Hard. Spending hours in a car traveling from show to show. You listen to AEW Unrestricted, they talk about it constantly because people like Aubrey Edwards and all those guys, they did it for years just to get a taste.
We heard it right straight from the Kingpin himself on the second time we had him on, and he said to us, point dead blank, he's went to shows, drove 8 hours from his house to a show, do the wrestling, but he said he's going to give him like a big payday. The promoter comes to him and goes, dude, I'm sorry, I couldn't do it, but you can have all the free hot dogs and drinks up at the concessions, and can you help me put away the chairs and then drive back home for another 8 hours and try to tell your wife, oh, so what was the payment? Hot dogs. That's exactly, you know what I mean? It's like, how do you do that?
I mean, really, at all fairness, if you're just like a nobody working a gym show, you're lucky to make $40, man.
Oh, at least at the most, they promise you $40 and then they try to hand you $5.
Yeah, they try. Well, I'm sorry, it didn't turn out the way it wanted to, like you said. But you can have a hot dog, and here's $5 for gas. And I know it costs you 10 to get here, but here's 5 for gas to get back home on. Yeah.
But truly, we talked about it right after All Out. All Out was probably AEW's weakest pay-per-view that they put on yet. This pay-per-view, Full Gear, has potential to be their absolute best. I know. I'm not a big fan of the gear name or the theme.
It sounds like one of WWE's third-rate pay-per-views.
Yeah. I don't like the name or the theme. I don't understand it. Like, they've got All Out and they've got Revolution, which I understand those, but like this one I never got. I wish they'd change it. But taking away the name and everything, this card is freaking stacked and it has potential to be amazing. You're going to finally see, I think, the Bucks really step out and be the Bucks that we all know. I know Tommy's not a big fan, but also Omega.
Tommy is a very big fan of.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of no. I'm thinking of Brandon. Brandon's not a Bucks fan. I'm sorry. I lose track of who likes who and who doesn't like who. But I think you're going to see Omega is the cleaner is coming. They've been teasing it for weeks. He is going to make an appearance. I am excited. I've never been more excited for a long storyline than I am for how this Adam Page thing is going to work out. He loses the title at the beginning of AEW. He goes into this huge alcoholic bender. Something's about to change with him with this loss. I don't know what. Like, we all know he's going to lose to Kenny. Something's going to happen in the loss.
Yeah, I think this is where the Elite, like, it's already been official. Like, he's like, we've seen it in vignettes and stuff. Like, he's out of the Elite. But this is going to be the final nail in the coffin, because the cleaner's going to show up. It's going to end him. And he's like, you're out. And I think that's how Marty Scurll's going to be. He's in. This is how it's all going to play in. It's all going to play in to where Adam Page, I think I got the feeling Adam Page, your Cody Rhodes, and FTR all get together and create that new Horseman. Because they're all going to be outed guys. They're going to be guys that are going to be looking from the outside looking in of what this elite group of guys are.
That could do it. I mean, that could be interesting. Something, because you've reached this point with the Page storyline. Like, the drinking's got to stop. He's got to move on to the next step. Yeah. So I think maybe he gets his ass kicked by Kenny. Kenny kicks him out of the Elite officially, and then maybe you're right. Maybe Cody and FTR lose, and then you bring in Shawn Spears, and you finally form that new Horseman.
That four Horsemen. That I feel that is the needed to be, because with Cody and Omega have always shown that they're not going to be on the same page.
Yeah,
that's just how it is. If Kenny Omega is going to be the cleaner, then Cody's going to be the underdog, and that's how it's going to be. So you're not going to see that. What you're going to get is you're going to get that formulation of Cody's going to go and try to confront and comfort Hangman. FTR is going to be there. That you're going to play that all in, and that's how that's going to ride.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. We're at a minute. We're at an hour 04.
Yep.
Before we go though, let's go ahead and point out that Pinfall is always looking to grow. If you're looking to maybe do a podcast, especially female talent that we need so bad here at Pinfall.
Let's see. It says seeking male and female. Don't get us wrong. We would love to have another guy jump upon, but we're more on the female.
We need that female voice. We need
that for real. We need a female that kind of knows a little something about the podcast history. You know, maybe have dabbled, got an idea, and like Gene said, that goes for anyone. If you got a podcast idea, get with us. Maybe you can team up with us at Pinfall. It helps Pinfall. It helps you. Also, here's a list of our other shows. I gotta update this one, guys, because now the total. Well, okay, it looks like someone did. It says 8 p.m. on that one.
I fixed it.
Oh, did you fix it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Josh has fixed it, but also we need to add the.
I told you I was bored today.
Yeah, we got to add the Revolution on here also.
Add Revolution on there. That's what we need to do.
I'll add that.
And but this is all our shows here through Pinfall. You can catch it all through. You can also join Total Nonstop Collecting. You can join Total Nonstop NCAA Fans. You can join. Check us out through YouTube. Pinfall has a YouTube page also, as we explained earlier. That's the only way if you're interested in the promo thing. That's
the only two YouTubes you can catch these shows on are this one and William Morgan Media. I think Tommy's doing away with TDC or with Total Nonstop YouTube.
Yep.
And so only places you're going to catch Pinfall shows are William Morgan Media and Pinfall Productions YouTube and on Facebook.
And with that being said, there's going to be in that William Morgan that's going to be showing up is that keep your eyes to that Revolution and basically to those promo shows, because it's going to be bangers, something interesting, something for everybody. So like we said, male, female people, please, if you're looking to get some help or you want to be a part of something, hey, you want to be a promo, or hey, you want to have a podcast, hey, you want to be a voice on one of our shows, male or female.
Guest spots, anything.
Reach out to us. If you're interested in being in front of the camera, we have a spot for you. Reach out to us. We'll figure it out. That's what me, Tommy, Brandon, and Will do well. We'll find you a spot. We'll make you. And if you already have a podcast and you want to bring it to more viewers, hit us up. Like between all of our pages, we reach over 1,000 viewers a week, and that is always growing. if you run a group or a page and you would like one of our shows or all of our shows to stream on your page, please reach out to us. Like I said earlier, we will be expanding to internet radio very soon. And it's good. Pitfall is on the way, boys. It's on the way.
It's on the way. With that being said, y'all have a great night. Make sure you catch us next week. Make sure, what's today, Thursday? Make sure you catch us Saturday morning with the end to get your college football day started. It'll be me and Mr. Justin Hicks as we go over your college football for the day.
And Mr. Morgan. Mr. Morgan.
Yes, that's right. Mr. Morgan will be joining us. I keep forgetting about that. I hope I don't forget about him Saturday morning.
and then later on that evening, you'll catch me, Morgan, and Shay hitting up your deep gauntlet, running the gauntlet.
Real quick, from all at Pinfall, we send out our prayers and wishes to Shaw. I know he's been in the hospital. We hope you're getting better, and hope you're back this Saturday, buddy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, good night, everyone. Y'all have a good one.